Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another book review, and today I'm going to be talking about a book that I just finished, and that is The Hazelwood. And this is a book that's been on my TBR for a very long time, and pretty much one of the reasons what picked me up and wanted me to read it was the book cover, and the fact that like when you see that cover and you're like, this is something that I might like. And pretty much I also read the synopsis, and it has like type of a storytelling, if you like stories, folk tales, and fairy tales type of thing. This is something that you might like. So for those that haven't read it, it takes place where about focus on this girl named Alice, and she and her mom are been on the run for most of her life. They have a lot of bad luck, and pretty much Alice actually has dealt with some tragic events before in her early childhood. So on the run, there always bad luck, bad marriages, bad stuff going on, and so finally they settle down in New York. Her mom has a boyfriend, and she pretty much is going to school. But also something that there's a secret about her family, that her mom is pretty much the daughter of a famous author who known as Persephone, and she's known as the author for these stories that she becomes famous out. And it's like pretty much like the fictional version of Harry Potter, like as that big. But the problem with the story is that it's very rare to find. So Alice pretty much always wanted to read, and so one day something bad happened. Her mom gets stolen. It takes away, she disappears, and then weird things start to happen, and so in order to get her mom back, she pretty much has to rely on the help of one of her grandma's biggest huge fans, fairy tales and all that stuff, known as Ellery. So they both had to like go on hunts, and it's kind of like also like a scavenger hunt, and they pretty much also go on a road trip to actually go back to the world of Hazelwood. But it turns out that Ellery also has his own secrets as well, reasons why he wants to help. So that's pretty much the premise of that. So getting on to my own thoughts about the book. What I actually thought about the book, I have some mixed feelings. I mean, pretty much more pros than cons. So getting started on the pros, I really love the whole concept. I like the whole idea about fairy tales, and I also like reading books about characters that actually love books. And so pretty much it's always good to see one that actually like has a passion for it and actually just like has adoring love. And also like the fact that pretty much her grandma is this famous author that everybody finds they love, and yet they can't find the stories. But so I was like, pretty much that's like kind of like something that I'm interested. Also thought the book also has a great deal of suspense and thriller aspects to it, so you pretty much are like, what's gonna happen next type of feel, and then things pop out of nowhere. And there's even like some creepy characters and creepy things that come out the dark, and it's just like spooky. And also once you get to the Hazelwood world, it gets like pretty much just like some weird underground wonderland type of thing. Along with that, I also like one of the characters. I like Ellery Finch, and also the interaction between him and Ellis. Every few minutes you would expect like a funny male character that has funny things that says, and pretty much a lot of comic relief, but also sometimes he also has like a little darkness in him. I also like the main character Alice. She's pretty much like trying to find out where her mom is, but at the same time she's also overcoming her own past. That said, pretty much there are some things that I pretty much would have liked in this book. I would have liked some parts were kind of like rather confusing, and I also would have liked, I mean, this book actually has like some of the fairy tales that happened within the grandma's book, and I would have liked some more fairy tales, but I'm not sure if that's actually going to be like maybe the author's going to have her own fairy tale books, which would be a big huge plus. Also, one of the problems about this book, I really like the cover and everything, but I am lacking a fantasy map. I like maps, and if there's a fantasy world in this one, I would like something like with that. So hopefully in the second book there will be a fantasy map. And there are some some parts where like I'm asking questions, but there's some answers that never got fully explained, like the grandma, why she disappeared a long time ago, and the mom pretty much didn't know what happened to her. So that's kind of like what is kind of like some of the things I didn't like about it. But overall, I pretty much really enjoyed this book, and I would pretty much would be like a B plus in some way. I mean, it's not my #1 favorite book of the year, but it's pretty much like it's really good. So for anyone who has read it, let me know what your comments and thoughts were, what you thought, and what is your favorite main character if you have one, and are you any chance looking forward to the next book in the series? Let me know. And for those that want to check it out, I do have the link below in the description, and if you want to check out more book reviews, click on the thumbs up button and do subscribe, because I love to have you there. So until next time, keep on reading.